Your greatest battles in life will not be fought with fists. They will be fought with words, emotions, and pressure. Every day you will face moments when someone challenges you, disrespects you, doubts you, or tries to pull you into conflict. In those moments, the average person reacts. The average person explodes. The average person loses control, but you are not here to be average. You are here to master yourself. The strongest human being in any confrontation is not the loudest one. It is not the angriest one. It is not the most aggressive one. The strongest person is the calmest person. Calmness is not weakness. Calmness is absolute power. When you stay calm, you stay in control. When you stay calm, you think clearly. When you stay calm, you see solutions instead of problems. When you stay calm, you win without raising your voice. Understand this deeply. Most confrontations are traps. They are emotional traps designed to steal your peace, your focus, and your strength. And the moment you lose your temper, you lose the battle. So how do you remain calm when the storm is right in front of you? First, you must master your breathing. A controlled breath creates a controlled mind. The moment tension rises, slow yourself down, breathe, pause, think. That simple act alone gives you more power than any angry response ever will. Second, refuse to react instantly. Reaction is emotional. Response is intelligent. Powerful people do not react. They respond with purpose. Silence in many moments is your greatest strategy. Third, do not take things personally. Most confrontations are not about you. They are about the other person's frustration, insecurity, or fear. When you understand that, you stop feeling attacked and start seeing clearly. Fourth, speak only when your emotions are steady. Words spoken in anger can destroy relationships, reputations, and opportunities. But words spoken with calm confidence can end conflicts instantly. Fifth, detach from your ego. Your ego will try to convince you that you must win every argument. But true strength is knowing you don't need to prove anything to anyone. The world is full of people who cannot control themselves. That is why calm people rise to the top. Leaders remain calm. Champions remain calm. Successful people remain calm. When someone shouts, you lower your voice. When someone insults, you maintain dignity. When someone provokes, you remain unshaken. That is how you dominate any confrontation. Without fighting, remember this: the person who angers you controls you. Never give that power to anyone. Train your mind to stay steady under pressure. Train your emotions to obey your discipline. Train yourself to pause when others panic, because life will test you. People will test you. Situations will test you. And in those moments, your calmness will become your greatest weapon. Decide today that no argument, no insult, no confrontation will steal your inner peace. Decide today that you will be the person who remains composed while others fall apart. Stay calm, stay focused, stay in control, and you will never be defeated by any confrontation in your life. Powerful closing thought. True power is not shown by how loudly you can fight back. True power is shown by how calmly you can stand your ground. The world belongs to those who master themselves. Now go forward and be unshakable. Calmness is power. Understand this truth at the deepest level of your mind. In every confrontation, in every argument, in every heated moment of life, the one who remains calm holds the real strength. The world tries to convince you that power belongs to the loud, the aggressive, the ones who shout the most. But real power has never lived in noise. Real power lives in control. Real power lives in a steady mind and an unshakable spirit. Most people lose battles before they even begin because they lose control of their emotions. The moment anger takes over, NCE disappears. The moment frustration rises, clear thinking falls. That is why calmness is not just a habit. It is a discipline. It is a weapon. It is a skill that separates the strong from the weak. Every confrontation is a test of your patience, a test of your maturity, a test of your self-mastery. Life will bring people who provoke you, challenge you, disrespect you, and try to pull you into emotional chaos. And in those moments, you have a choice. You can react like everyone else, or you can rise above and respond like a person of true power. Calmness gives you vision. When others are blinded by emotion, you remain clear. When others are controlled by anger, you remain in command. When others lose themselves, you find yourself. That is the advantage of a composed mind. It allows you to think before you speak, to choose your actions wisely, and to stay in control of every situation. The greatest victories in life are not won by force. They are won by composure. A single moment of uncontrolled emotion can destroy opportunities built over years. A few careless words spoken in anger can break relationships that took a lifetime to build. But a calm response can stop a storm instantly. A calm voice can disarm the most aggressive opponent. A calm attitude can turn conflict into respect. People will try to shake you. Circumstances will try to break you. Situations will try to push you beyond your limits. But your strength is not measured by how hard you can fight back. Your strength is measured by how steady you remain when everything around you is unstable. Silence is often more powerful than the perfect reply. Patience is often more effective than the sharpest argument. When you refuse to react, you take control of the entire situation. When you pause instead of exploding, you place yourself above the conflict. Calmness protects your dignity. It protects your reputation. It protects your future. The person who stays calm never has to apologize for words spoken in rage. The person who stays calm never regrets actions taken in emotion. Calmness keeps you aligned with wisdom, while anger pulls others toward regret. True confidence does not need to shout. True confidence does not need to prove anything to anyone. When you are secure within yourself, no confrontation can disturb your inner peace. When your mind is disciplined, no insult can touch your spirit. Most arguments in life are not about truth. They are about ego. They are about pride. They are about the need to feel superior. But a wise person understands that winning an argument is far less important than maintaining self-control. Walking away from useless conflict is not weakness. It is intelligence. Learn to breathe when others panic. Learn to think when others react. Learn to observe when others explode. These simple habits will make you unstoppable in a world full of emotional people. The one who masters emotions masters life itself. Every time you remain calm in a difficult moment, you grow stronger. Every time you refuse to be provoked, you rise higher. Every time you choose peace over anger, you build an unbreakable character. Do not allow the behavior of others to determine your inner state. Do not allow temporary situations to steal your long-term peace. The world will always be full of noise, conflict, and confrontation, but none of it has power over a mind that refuses to be disturbed. Calmness gives you clarity. Clarity gives you better decisions. Better decisions give you a better life. This is the chain of true power. Those who understand this rise above the ordinary struggles that trap most people. Train yourself daily to be patient. Train yourself to listen more than you speak. Train yourself to pause before responding. These habits will save you from countless mistakes and unnecessary battles. The greatest leaders in history were not known for their anger. They were known for their composure. The most respected people in the world are not the ones who lose control. They are the ones who remain steady under pressure. No matter what happens around you, guard your calmness like a priceless treasure. Protect it from negative people. Protect it from stressful situations. Protect it from your own impulsive emotions. When you master calmness, you master yourself. And the one who masters himself can never be defeated by any confrontation in this world. Silence is a strategy. Most people believe that power belongs to those who speak the most, argue the loudest, and react the fastest. But true strength has never lived in constant noise. Real power often stands quietly, observes carefully, and waits patiently. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is control. Silence is discipline. Silence is one of the most powerful strategies a human being can ever master. In a world full of arguments, opinions, and endless confrontation, the rarest quality is the ability to remain still when everyone else is exploding. When emotions rise, most people lose control of their words. They feel the need to defend themselves immediately. They feel the urge to respond to every attack. But the wisest individuals understand a deeper truth. Not every challenge deserves a reply. Not every accusation requires an answer. Silence gives you time to think. It gives you space to understand. It allows you to see the full picture instead of reacting to a single moment. When you stay silent, you remain in command of yourself. When you talk in anger, you become a prisoner of your emotions. Most confrontations are traps. They are designed to pull you into emotional battles where intelligence disappears and pride takes over. The moment you rush to speak, you surrender your advantage. The moment you react without thinking, you lose control of the situation. Silence protects you from that mistake. Great leaders have always known this secret. They do not speak just to fill the air with words. They choose their responses carefully. They understand that a calm pause can be more powerful than the sharpest argument. Many battles in life are won simply because one person refused to be dragged into useless conflict. Silence forces others to reveal themselves. When you stop talking, people begin to expose their true intentions. When you refuse to argue, the angry person runs out of fuel. When you stay calm, the truth slowly rises to the surface. Silence becomes a mirror that reflects the weakness of those who cannot control their emotions. There is enormous confidence in a person who does not feel the need to respond to everything. It shows emotional strength. It shows mental discipline. It shows self-mastery. Weak people believe they must answer every insult. Strong people understand they do not need to prove anything. Words spoken in haste often become regrets carried for years. Friendships have been destroyed because someone refused to stay silent for a single moment. Careers have been ruined because a person could not control their tongue. Opportunities have been lost because emotions were allowed to speak instead of wisdom. Silence protects your future. Silence protects your dignity. Silence protects your peace. The most dangerous opponent in any confrontation is not the one who shouts. It is the one who remains calm and says very little. That person cannot be easily defeated because they are not controlled by emotion. They are guided by thought. Learning to be silent does not mean becoming weak. It means becoming wise. It means understanding that true power does not need constant expression. A lion does not need to roar every minute to prove its strength. When someone insults you, silence denies them victory. When someone tries to provoke you, silence keeps you above their level. When chaos surrounds you, silence keeps your mind clear and steady. Many people fear silence because they mistake it for surrender. But silence is not surrender. Silence is strategy. It is the decision to choose the right moment instead of reacting in the wrong one. It is the ability to stay in control while others fall apart. The person who talks the most often thinks the least. The person who reacts the fastest often regrets the most. But the person who stays silent gains the advantage of clarity, patience, and self-control. In difficult moments, silence becomes your shield. It prevents you from saying things you can never take back. It allows you to observe instead of react. It gives you the upper hand in every tense situation. Mastering silence requires discipline. It requires emotional intelligence. It requires the strength to hold your tongue even when your pride is begging you to speak. But once you develop this ability, you become almost impossible to defeat in any confrontation. Life will constantly test you. People will challenge you. Situations will pressure you to react. But every time you choose silence over anger, you grow stronger. Every time you pause instead of exploding, you become wiser. Every time you refuse to be provoked, you take another step toward true power. Those who understand silence move through life differently. They do not waste energy on meaningless arguments. They do not fight battles that bring no value. They stand firm, calm, and composed while the world around them loses control. Silence allows you to hear what others miss. It allows you to see what others overlook. It allows you to think while others are too busy reacting. The greatest victories are often achieved without shouting a single word. The strongest messages are sometimes delivered without speaking at all. The most powerful people in this world are not the ones who always have something to say. They are the ones who know exactly when to remain silent. Master your inner world. This is the beginning of all greatness. Before you can control circumstances, before you can conquer challenges, before you can lead others, you must first learn to rule the kingdom inside yourself. The outside world will always be uncertain, but the inner world can be disciplined, trained, and made unbreakable. Most people spend their entire lives trying to fix everything around them while ignoring the chaos within them. They fight external battles while losing the internal war. They chase success, respect, and peace in the world, yet they never build those qualities inside their own minds. That is why they remain restless, frustrated, and defeated. Your outer life will always be a reflection of your inner condition. If your mind is weak, your life will be weak. If your thoughts are scattered, your results will be scattered. If your emotions control you, then the world will control you. But when you master your inner world, nothing outside can shake you. Discipline begins inside. Confidence begins inside. Strength begins inside. Every victory you will ever experience in life is born first in the quiet space of your own mind. The person who cannot control thoughts, emotions, and reactions will never truly control anything else. Every day your inner world is under attack. Fear tries to enter. Doubt tries to enter. Anger, jealousy, frustration, and insecurity all knock on the door of your mind. Most people allow these emotions to walk in freely and take control. but a strong person stands guard over their thoughts. A strong person decides what they will allow to live inside them. To master your inner world, you must first take responsibility for it. Stop blaming circumstances for your emotional state. Stop blaming other people for your reactions. The way you feel, the way you think, and the way you respond are always within your control. Your mind must become stronger than your moods. Your discipline must become stronger than your desires. Your purpose must become stronger than your fears. This is the foundation of true power. Learn to observe your thoughts instead of obeying them. Every thought that enters your mind does not deserve to stay there. Negative thigh and king must be challenged. Limiting beliefs must be removed. Weak mental habits must be replaced with strong ones. Most conflicts in life are not with other people. They are with yourself. The real battle is between who you are now and who you are capable of becoming. When you win that battle, the outside struggles begin to disappear. A person who has mastered their inner world does not panic in difficult situations. They do not collapse under pressure. They do not lose control when life becomes challenging. They remain steady because their foundation is built from within. Silence your inner noise. Calm your emotional storms. Strengthen your mental focus. These are not small skills, they are life-changing abilities. The world respects those who remain composed while others fall apart. Your inner world is like a garden. Whatever you plant there will grow. If you plant fear, you will live in fear. If you plant doubt, you will live in hesitation. But if you plant courage, confidence, and discipline, your life will bloom with strength and success. Every morning, the battle begins again. Thoughts arrive, emotions rise, challenges appear, and every day you must choose who will be in control. Will it be your fears or your discipline? Will it be your habits or your purpose? Will it be your weaknesses or your higher self? Mastery of the inner world requires daily practice. It requires patience. It requires awareness. You must learn to pause before reacting. You must learn to think before speaking. You must learn to breathe before exploding. These simple habits create extraordinary power over time. When you master yourself, insults lose their power. Problems lose their size. Pressure loses its weight. You begin to walk through life with a calm confidence that cannot be disturbed by external events. Greatness is not built by people who are ruled by emotions. Greatness is built by people who rule their emotions. The strongest person in any room is not the one with the most money or the loudest voice. It is the one with the greatest self-control. Train your mind to stay calm in chaos. Train your heart to stay patient in frustration. Train your spirit to stay strong in adversity. This is how ordinary people transform into extraordinary individuals. Your inner world determines everything. It determines how you see challenges. It determines how you handle failure. It determines whether you rise or fall when life becomes difficult. Do not wait for the world to become easier. Make yourself stronger from the inside. Do not wait for people to change. Strengthen your ability to remain steady no matter what they do. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Build a mind that can succeed in any condition. When you master your inner world, you no longer fear confrontation. You no longer fear rejection. You no longer fear hardship. Because you understand that nothing outside is more powerful than what you have built within. The greatest project you will ever work on is yourself. The greatest skill you will ever develop is self-mastery. The greatest achievement you will ever reach is complete control over your own mind and emotions. Every step toward inner mastery makes you stronger, calmer, wiser, and more powerful. And with that power, you move through life unshaken, undisturbed, and unstoppable. Think before you speak. These 4 words carry more power than most people realize. Entire lives have been shaped, built, or destroyed simply because someone chose to speak without thinking. Words are invisible weapons. Once released, they can never be taken back. That is why the discipline to pause, reflect, and choose your words carefully is one of the greatest strengths a human being can develop. Most people speak first and think later. In moments of anger, pressure, or emotion, they allow their tongue to run faster than their mind. And in those careless moments, they create problems that last far longer than the argument itself. A single sentence, CE spoken in haste, can ruin trust. A few emotional words can break relationships. One uncontrolled response can close doors that may never open again. Speaking without thinking is easy. Anyone can do it. Real strength is shown by the person who remains silent long enough to choose the right response. Real maturity is the ability to control your mouth even when your emotions are screaming to be released. Every time you open your mouth, you shape the way people see you. Words reveal character. Words expose wisdom or foolishness. The world judges you not only by your actions, but by what you say and how you say it. A calm mind produces clear words. An emotional mind produces dangerous words. That is why thinking before speaking is not just good advice. It is a life skill that protects your future. In every confrontation, there is a small moment between feeling and speaking. That tiny moment is where wisdom lives. The people who succeed in life are the ones who learn to live in that pause. They breathe, they think, they measure their response instead of reacting blindly. Many battles could be avoided completely if people simply learned to control their tongues. Arguments grow stronger not because of truth, but because of careless speech. Conflicts become wars because pride pushes people to say things they never truly meant. Silence for a few seconds can save years of regret. A thoughtful reply can end a heated situation instantly. But uncontrolled words pour fuel on emotional fires and turn small problems into lifelong disasters. The habit of thinking before speaking gives you authority. When you speak slowly and carefully, people listen. When your words are measured, they carry weight. When you respond with intelligence instead of emotion, you gain respect, even from those who disagree with you. Strong people do not feel the need to fill every moment with noise. They understand that not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every opinion needs to be expressed. Not every argument needs to be won. Ask yourself before you speak, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it helpful? Is it kind? Is it worth saying? These simple questions can transform the way you communicate and the way the world responds to you. The tongue is small, but it can create enormous damage. More friendships have been destroyed by reckless words than by real problems. More opportunities have been lost by foolish speech than by lack of talent. Emotional people speak to release feelings. Wise people speak to create understanding. There is a powerful difference between those two habits. Thinking before you speak does not make you weak, it makes you intelligent. It does not make you slow, it makes you strategic. It does not silence your voice, it strengthens it. Every great leader in history mastered this discipline. They knew that careless talk destroys credibility. They understood that a controlled message is more powerful than an emotional outburst. When someone provokes you, the greatest victory is not a sharp reply. The greatest victory is a calm, thoughtful response. When someone insults you, the strongest reaction is not to attack back, but to remain composed and speak with dignity. Your words are seeds. Once planted, they grow. Plant them carefully. The world is full of people who regret what they said in anger. The world is full of people who wish they could take back a conversation. But the past does not offer refunds for reckless speech. Train yourself to pause. Train yourself to reflect. Train yourself to choose wisdom over emotion. This simple habit will protect your relationships, your career, and your peace of mind. A person who thinks before speaking walks through life with fewer conflicts, fewer regrets, and far greater respect. Their words become tools instead of weapons. Their conversations build bridges instead of burning them. The ability to control your speech is the ability to control your destiny. Because the way you talk to people shapes the way life treats you. Before you speak, remember that silence is often smarter than noise, patience is stronger than pride, and thoughtful words are more powerful than emotional reactions. Master this discipline, and your voice will become a source of strength instead of trouble. Confidence defeats conflict. This is a truth most people never fully understand. They believe conflict is defeated by louder voices, stronger arguments, or aggressive reactions. They think victory belongs to the person who shouts the most or fights the hardest. But real victory in any confrontation belongs to the person who stands calm, steady, and confident. Confidence is not about arrogance. It is not about proving you are right. It is not about dominating another person. True confidence is inner stability. It is the quiet assurance that you do not need to fight every battle to prove your worth. When you are truly confident, conflict loses its power over you. Insults bounce off your mind instead of entering your heart. Arguments no longer control your emotions. Pressure no longer shakes your decisions. Confidence creates a shield around your spirit that protects you from unnecessary wars. Most conflicts grow because of insecurity. People argue because they feel threatened. They raise their voices because they feel small. They attack because they are afraid. But a confident person has nothing to fear. And when fear disappears, conflict begins to die. The world is full of people who react emotionally to every challenge. Someone disagrees with them and they explode. Someone questions them and they become defensive. Someone criticizes them and they lose control. These reactions are not signs of strength. They are signs of inner weakness. Confidence does not need to scream. Confidence does not need to prove. Confidence does not need to win every argument. A confident person walks into confrontation with calm energy. They listen more than they speak. They respond instead of react. They remain composed while others lose control. That calm presence alone defeats more conflicts than any aggressive reply ever could. Think about the strongest people you have ever met. They are not the ones who argue the most. They are the ones who remain unshaken when tension rises. They are the ones who keep their voice steady when others are shouting. They are the ones who never allow another person's behavior to control their emotions. That is real confidence. Confidence gives you the ability to pause. When someone provokes you, confidence allows you to smile instead of explode. When someone challenges you, confidence allows you to answer calmly instead of defensively. When someone tries to pull you into drama, confidence allows you to walk away without feeling defeated. In every confrontation, the most powerful position is emotional control. And emotional control is born from confidence. When you know your value, you do not need to fight for respect. When you believe in yourself, you do not need to win every argument. When you are secure in who you are, you do not feel threatened by the opinions of others. That inner security disarms conflict before it even begins. People often mistake kindness and calmness for weakness. But the opposite is true. It takes far more strength to stay calm than to lose control. It takes far more power to respond with dignity than to react with anger. Confidence changes the way you speak. Instead of emotional words, you choose intelligent ones. Instead of defensive replies, you give thoughtful responses. Instead of arguing to be right, you communicate to be understood, and when you communicate with confidence, conflict begins to disappear. Most arguments continue only because two emotional people refuse to calm down. But when one confident person enters the situation, the entire energy changes. Their calmness forces the other side to settle. Their steady voice brings reason into chaos. Confidence defeats conflict because it removes the fuel that conflict needs to survive. No one can drag you into a fight if you refuse to be dragged. No one can disturb your peace if you refuse to give it away. No one can make you feel small when you know exactly who you are. That is the power of inner confidence. Build yourself so strong on the inside that no argument can shake you. Train your mind to stay calm under pressure. Train your emotions to remain steady in difficult conversations. Train your spirit to stay confident even when challenged. When you walk through life with true confidence, confrontations lose their intensity. Difficult people lose their influence. Stressful situations lose their weight. Confidence turns conflict into conversation. It turns arguments into understanding. It turns tension into resolution. The strongest person in any confrontation is not the one who fights the hardest. It is the one who stands the calmest. It is the one who refuses to be controlled by emotion. It is the one who speaks with clarity instead of anger. Every day, life will test your confidence. People will test your patience. Situations will test your composure. And in those moments, you will reveal whether you are ruled by emotion or guided by inner strength. Choose to be the person who cannot be shaken. Choose to be the person who remains calm when others panic. Choose to be the person whose confidence is stronger than any conflict placed in front of them. Because when confidence walks into the room, conflict quietly loses its voice. Patience is a weapon, not a soft weapon, not a weak weapon, but one of the strongest forces a human being can carry. Most people believe power is found in speed, reaction, and aggression. They think the person who moves first wins. They believe the one who answers immediately is the strongest. But life does not reward impatience. Life rewards those who know how to wait, how to endure, and how to remain steady when everyone else is falling apart. Patience is not the ability to sit and do nothing. Patience is the ability to stay calm while working, while waiting, while facing pressure, and while dealing with difficult people. It is emotional discipline in action. It is self-control at the highest level. In every confrontation, the impatient person loses first. The one who cannot wait explodes. The one who cannot control emotions makes mistakes. The one who rushes to react gives away their power. But the patient person observes, calculates, and chooses the right moment to respond. That is why patience is a weapon. It gives you time, it gives you clarity, it gives you control. Impatient people live in chaos. They want instant results, instant answers, instant victories. And because they cannot wait, they destroy opportunities before they even have a chance to grow. But the patient mind understands that great things are never rushed. A strong person knows that silence combined with patience is more powerful than any angry reaction. They know that waiting for the right moment is smarter than forcing the wrong one. They know that real strength is measured by how long you can remain calm under pressure. Patience protects you from regret. How many times have people ruined relationships because they could not wait before speaking? How many times have careers been damaged because someone reacted too quickly? How many times have opportunities been lost because a person was too impatient to think? Those who lack patience become slaves to their emotions. Those who master patience become masters of their destiny. Patience allows you to see what others miss. When everyone else is rushing, the patient person is noticing details. When everyone else is panicking, the patient person is planning. When everyone else is reacting, the patient person is preparing to win. The world belongs to those who know how to wait. Nature itself teaches this lesson. A seed does not become a tree overnight. Strength is built SL. Howley. Success is created gradually. Respect is earned over time. Everything valuable in life requires patience, yet most people quit too soon. They give up too fast. They abandon their goals because they cannot endure the waiting period. But the patient person understands a deeper law. They understand that time rewards those who remain steady. In confrontation, patience confuses the angry. It disarms the aggressive. It frustrates the manipulative. When someone tries to provoke you and you remain patient, you take away their power instantly. Patience is emotional intelligence in its purest form. It is the ability to control your inner storm while the outer storm is raging. It is the refusal to be pushed, pressured, or provoked into actions you will later regret. A patient person does not need to win every argument. They know that time reveals the truth. They do not need to prove themselves in every moment. They know that consistency proves everything. Impatience shouts, patience remains calm. Impatience reacts, patience responds. Impatience makes noise, patience makes progress. Many of the greatest mistakes in human history were made by people who could not wait. They spoke too soon, decided too fast, and acted too quickly. But the greatest achievements in history were built by those who had the patience to continue when others gave up. Patience strengthens character. It builds discipline. It creates inner toughness. Every time you choose to wait instead of react, you become a stronger version of yourself. Life will test your patience constantly. People will test it. Problems will test it. Difficult situations will test it. And in those moments, your ability to remain steady will determine whether you rise or fall. The impatient mind is always restless. It is easily disturbed, easily angered, easily defeated. But the patient mind is like a rock in a storm, unmoved, unshaken, unbreakable. Patience allows you to think clearly before acting. It gives you the space to make wise decisions instead of emotional ones. It turns ordinary people into powerful individuals who cannot be manipulated by pressure. Those who rush often arrive at the wrong destination. Those who wait wisely arrive at the right one. True confidence requires patience. True leadership requires patience. True success requires patience. Without it, talent collapses under pressure. With it, even ordinary ability becomes extraordinary power. Every great dream demands patience. Every meaningful goal demands patience. Every important relationship demands patience. When you learn to wait without frustration, to endure without complaint, to remain calm without panic, you develop a weapon more powerful than anger, louder than arguments, and stronger than force. Patience turns obstacles into lessons. It turns conflict into wisdom. It turns pressure into opportunity. The impatient are always in a hurry, but rarely in control. The patient may move slowly, but they always move with power. And in the long journey of life, it is not the fastest who win. It is not the loudest who succeed. It is not the most aggressive who rise. It is those who understand the unstoppable strength of patience. Emotional control builds respect. This is one of the most powerful truths in human life. Respect is not earned by loud voices, angry reactions, or aggressive behavior. Respect is earned by those who can stand in difficult moments and remain composed, steady, and in command of themselves. The world is full of talented people. It is full of intelligent people. It is full of skilled and capable individuals. But the ones who rise higher than the rest are not simply the smartest or the strongest. They are the ones who know how to control their emotions when it matters most. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. Anyone can be polite when everything is going their way. But true character is revealed when pressure arrives, in moments of frustration, disappointment, or confrontation. Most people lose control. They shout, they react, they allow anger to guide their words and actions. And the moment they do that, they lose something far more valuable than the argument. They lose respect. Respect does not come from power over others. It comes from power over yourself. When you control your emotions, people see maturity. They see discipline. They see strength. Even those who disagree with you begin to admire you. Because emotional control is rare in a world full of impulsive reactions. Think about the people you respect the most. They are not the ones who lose their temper easily. They are not the ones who explode at every problem. They are the ones who remain calm when others panic. They are the ones who speak carefully instead of emotionally. They are the ones who handle pressure with dignity. That is why emotional control builds respect. Your emotions are powerful, but they must serve you, not rule you. The moment anger controls you, you become weak. The moment frustration controls you, you lose clarity. The moment pride controls you, you lose wisdom. But when you master your emotions, you become unstoppable. People are always watching how you behave under stress. They are watching how you respond to criticism. They are watching how you treat others when things go wrong. And from those moments, they decide whether to respect you or dismiss you. A calm person commands attention without demanding it. A composed person earns loyalty without forcing it. A controlled person gains influence without fighting for it. Emotional control does not mean you stop feeling. It means you stop allowing feelings to make decisions for you. It means you choose your response instead of reacting blindly. It means you stay bigger than the moment in front of you. Most conflicts in life become worse because people cannot control themselves. One angry word leads to another. One emotional reaction creates another. Small problems turn into big disasters simply because someone refused to remain calm. But the person who controls their emotions breaks that cycle instantly. They refuse to add fire to fire. They refuse to let tension pull them down. They refuse to become small in heated moments. And because of that, they earn something priceless. They earn respect that cannot be demanded or bought. Emotional control also protects your reputation. People remember how you handle yourself. They may forget what the argument was about, but they never forget how you behaved. The one who remains calm is remembered as strong. The one who loses control is remembered as unstable. In leadership, in relationships, in business, and in everyday life, emotional control is the foundation of credibility. No one trusts a person who cannot control their temper. No one respects someone who reacts wildly to every challenge. But everyone respects the individual who can stay steady when storms arrive. To control your emotions, you must first control your thoughts. You must learn to pause before speaking. You must learn to breathe before reacting. You must learn to step back from heated moments instead of diving into them. This is not easy. It requires discipline. It requires awareness. It requires practice. But every time you choose calmness over anger, you grow stronger. Every time you refuse to be provoked, your character rises. Every time you respond with dignity, your respect increases. Every time you master yourself, you move closer to true power. Emotional control gives you authority without force. It gives you influence without manipulation. It gives you strength without aggression. Weak people are controlled by their moods. Strong people control their moods. Weak people blame others for their reactions. Strong people take responsibility for their behavior. Weak people lose respect in emotional moments. Strong people earn respect in emotional moments. The way you manage your emotions shapes the way the world sees you. It shapes your relationships. It shapes your opportunities. It shapes your future. Do not allow temporary feelings to create permanent damage. Do not allow anger to speak words you will later regret. Do not allow frustration to destroy the image you have worked so hard to build. Choose discipline over impulse. Choose calmness over chaos. Choose control over regret. When you master emotional control, people begin to trust you. They begin to follow you. They begin to admire you. Because in a world where most people fall apart under pressure, the one who remains composed becomes a natural leader. Respect is not given to the loudest person in the room. Respect is given to the calmest, and those who learn to control themselves will always stand higher than those who cannot. Detach from ego. This single decision can change the entire direction of your life. More battles are lost because of ego than because of weakness. More relationships are broken because of ego than because of real problems. More opportunities disappear because of ego than because of lack of ability. Ego is a silent enemy. It hides behind pride, anger, and the need to be right. It whispers that you must win every argument. It convinces you that admitting a mistake makes you small. It tricks you into believing that your value depends on proving yourself to others. But the truth is simple and powerful. The moment you detach from ego, you become free. Most conflicts in life are not battles of truth. They are battles of pride. Two people arguing not to find understanding, but to protect their image. Two people fighting not because something truly matters, but because their egos refuse to step aside. Ego makes small problems feel enormous. It turns simple disagreements into emotional wars. It pushes people to say things they never meant and do things they later regret. Ego is the voice inside that says, "I cannot back down, I must win, I must prove my point." And that voice destroys more peace than any external enemy ever could. True strength is not about protecting your ego. True strength is about rising above it. The most powerful people in the world are not those who fight for their pride. They are the ones who are secure enough to let pride go. When you detach from ego, arguments lose their power over you. Criticism stops hurting so deeply. Insults no longer control your emotions. You stop living to defend an image and start living with clarity and calmness. Ego is fragile. It reacts instantly. It gets offended easily. It demands constant validation. But a person who is detached from ego is steady, confident, and unshaken. Think about how many problems would disappear if people simply let go of their need to be right. How many friendships would be saved if someone chose peace instead of pride? How many opportunities would grow if people listened instead of arguing? Ego blocks growth. It refuses to accept feedback. It refuses to learn. It refuses to change. A person controlled by ego believes they already know everything, and because of that belief, they remain stuck. Detaching from ego opens the door to wisdom. It allows you to admit mistakes without feeling small. It allows you to learn from others without feeling threatened. It allows you to improve instead of pretending to be perfect. Real confidence does not need ego. Real confidence does not need to win every debate. Real confidence does not need to be the loudest voice in the room. Real confidence is quiet, humble, and secure. The strongest words a person can say are simple. I was wrong. I don't know. You are right. I made a mistake. Ego fights against these words, but wisdom embraces them. Most people suffer not because of what happens to them, but because of how their ego reacts to what happens. Someone disagrees, and ego feels attacked. Someone corrects them, and ego feels embarrassed. Someone challenges them, and ego feels threatened. Detach from that voice and sud. Inly life becomes lighter. You stop taking everything personally. You stop seeing every conversation as a competition. You stop needing to prove yourself in every situation. Freedom begins when you realize you do not have to defend your pride at every moment. Detaching from ego does not mean becoming weak. It means becoming intelligent. It means understanding that inner peace is more valuable than winning useless arguments. It means choosing growth over pride. Ego demands reaction. Wisdom chooses response. Ego creates enemies. Humility builds bridges. Ego starts wars. Detachment creates understanding. When you remove ego from your decisions, your relationships improve. Your communication improves. Your judgment improves. You begin to see situations clearly instead of emotionally. Many people spend their lives trapped inside the prison of their own pride. They refuse to apologize. They refuse to forgive. They refuse to listen. And because of that, they live in constant conflict with the world. But the person who detaches from ego walks through life with peace and power. They can listen without feeling attacked. They can learn without feeling inferior. They can walk away from arguments without feeling defeated. This is real strength. Life becomes easier when you stop carrying the heavy burden of ego. Conversations become calmer. Decisions become wiser. Conflicts become smaller. You begin to understand a powerful secret. You do not need to win every battle to be a winner. You do not need to prove your worth to know your worth. You do not need to defend your pride to be respected.
Detaching from ego allows you to live with dignity instead of defensiveness. It allows you to focus on what truly matters instead of fighting over what does not. The world is full of people controlled by their egos.
That is why the world is full of unnecessary conflict. But the rare individual who learns to rise above ego gains an incredible advantage. They think clearer, they stay calmer, they live wiser. Letting go of ego is not losing yourself. It is finding your highest self. It is stepping into a level of maturity where peace matters more than pride and growth matters more than appearances. When ego no longer controls you, nothing can easily disturb you. And a person who cannot be controlled by ego cannot be defeated by conflict. Calm decisions create powerful results. Every major outcome in life can be traced back to a single decision. Not the loud ones, not the rushed ones, not the emotional ones, but the calm ones. The decisions made with a steady mind and a clear vision shape destinies, build empires, repair relationships, and protect futures. Most people do not fail because they lack ability. They fail because they decide while emotional. They choose while angry. They commit while afraid. And emotions are terrible advisors. They distort reality. They rush judgment. They push people into actions they later regret. A calm mind sees what emotion hides. When pressure arrives, the average person panics. They feel the urgency to act immediately. They believe speed equals strength. But haste creates blind spots. Calmness creates clarity. And clarity is the foundation of every powerful result. Calm decisions are not slow decisions. They are precise decisions. They are deliberate. They are intentional. They come from awareness instead of impulse, from logic instead of fear, from purpose instead of pride. History is filled with examples of people who destroyed everything they built because of one emotional decision, one angry response, one rushed choice, one moment of panic. And history is also filled with individuals who changed their lives completely because they paused, breathed, and chose wisely. The difference was not intelligence. The difference was calmness. A calm decision protects you from unnecessary damage. It keeps relationships intact. It preserves reputation. It safeguards opportunity. When you remain calm, you do not burn bridges you may need to cross again. Powerful results require long-term thinking. Emotional decisions think only about the moment. Calm decisions think about consequences. They consider impact. They measure risk. They align with values instead of temporary feelings. When your mind is calm, you listen better. You observe more. You notice details others miss. You see patterns instead of chaos. That awareness leads to smarter choices. Stress narrows perception. Calmness expands it. That is why calm people often seem ahead of everyone else. They are not moving faster. They are moving smarter. While others rush into mistakes, they step carefully into success. In conflict, calm decisions prevent escalation. A single calm response can stop a situation from turning destructive. A single thoughtful choice can turn an enemy into an ally. A single moment of restraint can save years of regret. Calmness is not about avoiding action. It is about choosing the right action. When emotions control decisions, life becomes unstable. One day confident, the next day confused. One day motivated, the next day discouraged. Calm decision-making creates consistency, and consistency creates progress. Most people underestimate the power of restraint. They believe reacting quickly shows strength. But real strength is shown in control. It takes courage to pause when everything inside urges you to act. That pause is where power lives. Calm decisions are built on discipline. Discipline to think before speaking. Discipline to wait before reacting. Discipline to choose wisdom over impulse. Every calm decision compounds over time. Small, wise choices made consistently lead to massive results. Strong careers are built on calm decisions. Strong relationships survive because of calm decisions. Strong character is formed through calm decisions. Emotional choices bring temporary relief but long-term damage. Calm choices may feel difficult in the moment, but they create lasting benefits. Pressure will always exist. Life will never slow down to give you comfort. People will test you. Situations will challenge you. And in those moments, the quality of your decisions will define your direction. A calm person does not surrender to chaos. They rise above it. They become the eye of the storm, still, focused, aware. From that state, powerful results are inevitable. Calm decision-makers become natural leaders. Others trust them. Others follow them because people feel safe around someone who is not controlled by emotion. Stability attracts trust. Trust attracts opportunity. When you master calm decision-making, you stop being reactive and start being intentional. You no longer let circumstances dictate your actions. You dictate your response to circumstances. This is how ordinary people separate themselves from the average. They do not rely on luck. They rely on judgment. They do not gamble with emotions. They invest in clarity. Calm decisions also protect your energy. Emotional reactions drain you. Regret drains you. Damage control drains you. But wise choices conserve energy and direct it toward growth. Life rewards those who can think clearly under pressure, those who can stay composed in uncertainty, those who can remain calm when the outcome matters most. Every powerful result begins with a calm choice. Every strong future is built on steady thinking. Every lasting success is rooted in emotional control. Train yourself to slow down when emotions rise. Train yourself to breathe when tension appears. Train yourself to choose calmness even when the world demands urgency. That habit will change everything. Because when your decisions are calm, your actions become precise, your path becomes clear, and your results become powerful. Every principle we've explored, the power of calmness, the wisdom of silence, mastering your inner world, thinking before speaking, confidence, patience, emotional control, detaching from ego and making calm decisions leads to a single truth. True strength is born within. Life will test you with conflict, pressure, and chaos. But the measure of your power is not how loudly you fight, how quickly you react, or how often you prove yourself. Your power is measured by how steady you remain, how controlled your mind is, and how wisely you act when everyone else loses control. When you master yourself, when you rise above ego, when you speak with thought and act with calm, you become unstoppable. The world may try to shake you, provoke you, or challenge you at every turn, but no force outside can overpower a mind that has learned discipline, self-mastery, and patience. Stand firm, remain calm, trust your inner strength, and watch as every confrontation, every obstacle, and every challenge bends before the quiet power of your unwavering control.